Tonight on KVR News, guns on campus, how UT could be affected.
And an update on Austin's commuter problem and a potential solution.
You're watching KVR News, Austin's leader for live, local UT coverage.
Broadcasting live from the Texas Student Television Studios at the University of Texas. You're watching KVR News at 9, Austin's leader for live, local UT coverage. Your news starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to KVR News for Monday, February 23rd. I'm Joanna Lyles.
And I'm Deanna Govea.
With identical bills calling for the legalization of campus concealed carry progressing through the Texas Senate and House, student government responded Tuesday by passing a resolution against the measures. Opponents of campus carry say it makes schools less safe, while proponents say the public has a right to the extra protection and it can prevent incidents on campus.
The bills before the House and Senate would give private schools a choice on the measure, but mandate it for public schools like UT. Student government is continuing with an effort to survey students on the issue to get an accurate representation of how the campus feels about it.
Last week, 2 Austin women were issued the first ever same-sex marriage license in Travis County. Sarah Goodfriend and Susan Bryant said their vows and registered their marriage Thursday morning, but state Republican leaders responded quickly, vowing to void the marriage. Attorney General Ken Paxton has asked the Texas Supreme Court to declare the license a violation of state law. For now, their license remains valid, and the couple spent their Friday celebrating a historic moment for same-sex couples in Texas. Today, Secretary of State John Kerry officially designated Randy Berry as a United States first ambassador for the human rights of LGBT persons. According to Kerry, Berry will work to advocate LGBT rights by overturning laws that criminalize consensual same-sex actions in countries abroad. Today, more than 75 countries still criminalize same-sex conduct. Berry has held numerous diplomatic positions in countries such as Zealand, Nepal, Egypt, and Uganda.
With details emerging on who might replace UT Austin President Bill Powers, UT announced that several of its highest-ranking administrators will be leaving for other universities and projects. The Statesman reported Thursday that 3 candidates on a short list to replace Powers will interview with the UT System Board of Regents on March 4th. They are Greg Fenves, UT's Executive Vice President, and Provost Andrew Hamilton, Vice Chancellor of the University of Oxford in England, and David Daniel, President of UT Dallas. Powers will be stepping down in June. UT announced last week that CFO Kevin Haggerty, Macombs Dean Tom Gilligan, and LBJ Dean Robert Hutchings will be stepping down from their positions. Haggerty and Gilligan will be taking positions at other universities, and Hutchings will take some time off to write and then return to teach at LBJ.
The groundbreaking ceremony for the Cockrell School of Engineering's newest building will happen Thursday afternoon. The EERC, which stands for Engineering and Education Research Center, will be the second largest building by volume on campus. The final design includes 2 towers, state-of-the-art labs, and a cafeteria. The building will allow 1,000 more students into the engineering program. The EERC is estimated to be completed by 2017.
We're really excited for all that it's going to provide the engineering students. It'll be 430,000 square feet of more space for students, allowing for more students to attend the engineering school. Also, it'll be a lot of hands-on programs and research labs and space for students to participate from the very beginning of their college career.
A new exhibit has anchored at the Bullock Museum. The shipwreck La Belle can now be seen as it undergoes restoration. The process can be seen through May 17. A large section of the museum has closed to make a permanent spot for the artifact. It will reopen in 2016.
The MOPAC improvement project has been ongoing since late 2013, and so far Loop 1 has been a hassle for Austin drivers. In a record from 2012 to 2013, drivers received 4,000 citations during the MOPAC construction. From 2013 to 2014, Austin has seen an increase of tickets to around 16,000, nearly quadrupling the amount. Half of those were due to speeding in construction zones on top of increased citations. Drivers having to deal with MOPAC impacts heavy traffic and road closures on the weekend. Due to the delays in the project, construction takes place Sundays almost all day long. For updates on MOPAC road closures, follow on Twitter at twitter.com/improvemopac. The Metro Park and Rail lots will be expanding soon, late summer. The Texas Department of Transportation gave Capital Metro a $50 million grant that will be used for these locations. The money will be used to add more tracks to the Red Line and add more parking spaces at park and ride stations that are at full capacity. One of the stations getting improvements is the Lake Line station, which has been at 100% capacity since 2013.
Still to come, how some students are giving back to community parks.
And a walk to raise awareness for sexual and domestic violence.
You're watching KVR News.
Have a news tip or story idea? Call the KVR News tip line, 475-8181.
The Autism Trust USA is a nonprofit organization geared towards helping individuals, families, and communities living with autism. The organization's mission is to build vocational, educational, wellness, and semi-independent residential programs in a supportive environment for individuals with autism. The Autism Trust USA received a donation for a plot of land in Austin where they will be building the first comprehensive facility for people with autism. This facility is focused on support for the individual. This concept is revolutionary because it will be creating a sustainable community for teens and adults with autism and associated conditions. The facility will first open in March. However, the buildings of this facility will be ongoing. It will expand based on demand.
The countdown to the project is quickly approaching as coordinators finalize preparations for UT's largest day of community service. The project is where over 2,000 students, faculty, staff, and alumni, and community volunteers collaborate to support a local Austin neighborhood. This year, the project is scheduled for Saturday, February 28, 2015, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Holly East Cesar Chavez communities. To register to volunteer or for more information, visit the online website or email theproject.ut@gmail.com. Senator Garnett Coleman of Houston is proposing a revision of the Stand Your Ground law. Currently in Texas, the law allows citizens to use lethal force as a means of self-defense. The new proposition would make deadly force illegal in public spaces unless the circumstances could not be avoided. However, the new law would still protect a citizen's right to use lethal force in his or her own home.
The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development released new guidelines for homeless shelters regarding the treatment of transgendered people. The guidance applies to recipients of HUD grants, which include nonprofits that run shelters. According to the new rules, if a resident expresses safety concerns, the provider should take steps including adding locks onto bathroom stalls, a curtain, or allowing a separate changing and bathing schedule. Recipients who don't follow the guidelines risk the suspension of their grant.
A riot in a South Texas prison is forcing as many as 2,800 low-level prisoners to relocate. Authorities in Raymondville, Texas regained control Saturday after a standoff with rioting prisoners in Willacy County Correctional Center. Inmates set fires and took over part of the facility. The standoff began Friday when the inmates refused to work. They were upset with the prison's medical services. They set fires to 3 of the prison's housing units and caused a significant amount of damage. No one was seriously hurt.
On Saturday, a Somali extremist group, Al-Shabaab, released a video urging attacks on malls around the world. The terrorist group is known to be an affiliate group of Al-Qaeda. In the video, they specifically mention the Mall of America in Minneapolis, Minnesota. They also threatened shopping malls in Canada and Great Britain. The Mall of America says that they will be taking extra safety precautions in the coming days. The FBI has released a statement saying there is no specific credible plots against any domestic shopping centers.
The second annual Illuminate Austin kicked off this past Saturday night, which shed a light on those affected by domestic violence and domestic abuse. Our Marievel Santiago has more on the story.
A windy Saturday evening at Waller Park didn't stop Austinites from raising awareness on an important cause.
Probably the one person I would say that I would be supporting through this was probably even my sister.
Hundreds of community members from around the Austin area come together tonight in support of those affected by sexual and domestic violence.
Illuminate Austin is the great opportunity to get a group of people out to give that message and to walk in solidarity to end violence.
Victims and supporters alike came together to celebrate those who've survived and remember those they have lost.
I'm here today sponsoring this event because I don't want anybody else to have to face the pain that my beloved Betty's family did and all who loved her as I do.
The walk benefits SafePlace by providing prevention and educational programs around the Austin area.
I hope we'll have a lot of fun coming together to know that what one individual can't do alone, all of us together can. So I hope as we walk around this beautiful lake in Mueller and the lights shine out, so will the spirit to eradicate this scourge in our society.
Marievel Santiago, KVR News.
If you or anyone you know is a victim of sexual or domestic abuse, you can call the 24-hour SafePlace hotline at 512-267-7233. This past weekend, quilt enthusiasts gathered from all over the country at the Austin Convention Center for QuiltCon 2015. Every year, quilt makers and buyers alike celebrate these bundles of blankets with a quilt show, where prizes are given out for a variety of categories, like handwork, improvisation, and minimalist design. Some of the displayed quilts, like the Best in Show quilt pieced together by Kathy York, have deep sentimental meaning, while other quilters focused on the artistic appeal and the looks. They also hold workshops and speakers covering everything from sewing techniques to the history of quilting as an art. QuiltCon began in 2013 and has been gaining national attention. The 2016 and 2017 conferences will be held on the East Coast and the West Coast as the event continues to expand.
Well, February has been unusually warm, but today that winter weather returned with a vengeance.
Marysabel Cardozo is live in the Weather Center with this week's weather. Marysabel, can we expect today's cold temps to continue throughout the week?
We sure can. We have a wintry weather advisory tonight, but don't get ready for canceled classes just yet. I'll have more on the weather after the break.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
Marysabel Cardozo. There was a definite shift in weather from the spring breeze of Saturday to today's chilly temperatures. A winter weather advisory was in effect since 3 a.m. until 6 p.m. tonight. Many of us were even hoping for canceled classes today. But don't give up hope just yet, Longhorns. This Arctic air will remain in Austin until tomorrow. Today was mostly cloudy skies overhead and cold. We do advise you to stay safe on the road since there's an 80% chance of freezing tonight. If you're not enjoying this weather, you might need to hang in there until Sunday. As you can see, coats and umbrellas might be necessary this week. Tuesday will have temperatures ranging from the low 40s to mid 30s with a 30% chance of rain. Not too much of a difference on Wednesday, where there is a high of about 57, a low of 36, and a 30% chance of rain. On Thursday, we have a possible chance of saying hello to the sun. Partly sunny with a high near 55 and a low of about 36. Already counting down to the weekend? Well, not too much of a change on Friday. Partly sunny with a high near 50 and a chilly low of 38. Saturday and Sunday, both mostly cloudy. However, Saturday will be much cooler overall. High of about 56 and expected low of 49. Sunday kicks off March and some warmer temps as well. A high of about 71 and a low of 50. It will also be my mom's birthday, so happy early birthday, Mom! In some chills and scattered showers throughout the week with a warmer Sunday to tease us with some spring weather. Live in the Weather Center, Marysabel Cardozo, KVR News.
Well, up next, College Press Box's Alanis King will be in the studio to talk Longhorn sports after the break. Stay tuned.
Now, KVR News at 9 Sports.
Welcome back to KVR News. I'm College Press Box's Alanis King. On Saturday, the Texas men's basketball team took to the court against Iowa State. Let's head on out to the drum for the highlights. Here, the basketball team is getting ready to take on number 14, looking to rally back from a loss to Oklahoma. But Iowa State takes off in the first half, shooting a 3 and going up 3-0. Off a pass from Isaiah Taylor, we see Kendall Yancey bring it in for the reverse layup and tying the game 8-8. But the Longhorns had trouble with turnovers in the first half, as we see a turnover here from Myles Turner and then 2 from Isaiah Taylor. Despite 12 turnovers in the first half, the Longhorns were able to keep the score 35-31. But Iowa State got off to a strong second half with a 3 right here, taking the score up by 7. But we see Connor Landmark for Texas passing it into Myles Turner, who puts it up for the dunk and takes the lead down to 5. Kendall Yancey gets the rebound from Iowa State, taking it coast to coast, and he puts it up and cuts the lead down to 3. But Iowa State answers as Bryce DeJohn-Jones gets the rebound, passes it and takes it for a fast break slam. Iowa State up 51-44. DeJohn-Jones passes it to Matt Thomas here, and Matt Thomas puts it up for the 3. Iowa State up again, and here again we see a pass to Matt Thomas, puts it up for the 3, extending Iowa State's lead. Iowa State takes the win 85-77 over the Horns. College Press Box's Taylor Smith has more on the loss against the Cyclones.
The Texas men's basketball team played number 16 Iowa State on Saturday afternoon. In the first half alone, Texas turned the ball over 12 times, leading to an 8-0 Iowa State run at the end of the first half. Texas lost 85-77.
Guys, I told them, I said, we're good, but we can't keep beating ourselves in those situations.
Kendall Yancey finished the game with a career-high 29 points, but had trouble celebrating the accomplishment because of the loss.
It's pretty tough. There's no time to be feeling sorry for ourselves, but I do feel bad for my teammates because I know how hard we worked today, and we just got to get out of this losing streak.
Coach Barnes believes the team's biggest problem right now is their confidence. Senior Jonathan Holmes, who's supposed to be a leader on this team, only finished the game with 2 points.
But the way you get confidence is knowing that you don't have to carry the whole load yourself. Isaiah, I thought, played, I think, his best game since he's started conference play. The thing that is a killer is when you look at it, he played 40 minutes. And but we need John and Cam and Javon. I mean, those guys, I think between them, what are they, something like 3 for 16 or something, and those guys have been around, and we need those guys. We really need them.
With only 4 regular season games left, Yancey and the rest of the team knows they have to find a way to win in order to receive a bid in the NCAA tournament.
Me personally believe that we'll figure it out. Like I said, we ain't got time to be feeling sorry for ourselves. We got a quick turnaround out in West Virginia, so we're finna get another road win and start getting this thing rolling.
Taylor Smith, College Press Box.
All right, thanks, Alanis. Thanks for joining us. Our Viviana Castaneda is live in the studio with your entertainment news. Vivi, what's on deck?
A recap of this year's Oscars, and Kanye West expands his brand to the video game world. All this and more coming up next.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
Welcome back to KVR News. Last night, the 87th Academy Awards, hosted by Neil Patrick Harris, seemed like a deja vu of the Screen Actors Guild Awards and the Golden Globe Awards from a few weeks ago. With big-name repeat winners, Eddie Redmayne took home the title of Best Actor yet again for his portrayal of Stephen Hawking in The Theory of Everything. Julianne Moore again won Best Actress for her role in Still Alice, while Patricia Arquette won Best Supporting Actress
actress for her role in Boyhood. J.K. Simmons gave a rousing acceptance speech after winning Best Supporting Actor for his part in Whiplash. Birdman managed to snag the Oscar for Best Picture, but tied with Wes Anderson's Grand Budapest Hotel for a total number of awards. Each movie won in 4 different categories, but what the Oscars lacked in new or surprising winners, they made up for with musical performances and comedy bits. Neil Patrick Harris stripped down to his underwear, while Lady Gaga gave a strikingly beautiful tribute to the 50th anniversary of The Sound of Music. Other big winners included the song Glory by Common and John Legend from the Big Selma and Big Hero 6 for the Best Animated Film. And now this past Saturday, Kanye revealed some special news about an upcoming piece he's working on, but it's no surprise concert or new music video. Kanye is currently working on a video-based game on his new single, Only One. The video game project plans to focus on Kanye's mother's way to heaven. In a radio interview, Kanye stated, quote, that the idea is having to bring his mom to the highest gates of heaven by holding her to the light. The video game has been in production for 6 months now. However, no date has been announced of when it will be available in stores. That's all for entertainment news. Back to you.
Thanks, Vivian. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Joanna Lyles.
And I'm Deanna Govea. For news and weather updates throughout the week, you can follow us on Twitter at KVR News.
Stay tuned for College Press Box up next on Texas Student Television. Have a great night.